Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Excellency Kiai Haji Muhammad Hasan Mutawakil Allah SHMM, The Excellency Abdul Aziz Wahab MAG as Director of Zainul Hasan Ginggung Islamic University, and unforgettable to Miss Sofiatul Hasanah MPD as the Lecturer of Islamic Education class. My name is Sylviatus Saima. I'm from English Education Department. Here I will explain about the concept map of the philosophy of Islamic education that I have made. Okay, let me explain. I will explain about the definition, correlations between philosophy and education, function and role of Islamic education philosophy, position of Islamic education philosophy in language learning, and the last is what the benefit of learning Islamic education philosophy. The first is definition. In the definition, there are three definitions. The first is philosophy as a method of thinking. As a method of thinking, philosophy is the result and contemplation of the problems of human lives. By thinking, humans find levels and types of thinking. Among others, religious thinking, sociological thinking, empirical thinking, philosophical thinking, and synopsis thinking. The second, philosophy as an attitude in the world and life. Philosophy as an attitude in the world and life refers to an in-depth and systematic look at everything that exists, as well as criticism or thinking about the beliefs and attitudes that are all upheld. And the last is philosophy as a system of thought. Philosophy is a set of theories and systems of thought that include various branches such as epistemology, metaphysics, logic, ethics, aesthetics, and philosophy of science. Philosophy also has several characteristics, namely universal, radical, and systematic. Second, I will explain the correlation between philosophy and education. The first is to provide a philosophy outlook. The philosophy of education provides its philosophical views to educational theory, especially its views on humans, learners, educational goals, and how learning should be. The second is it can cover philosophical views. Educational philosophy can cover the views of suitable educational philosophy, although these views must be reprocessed. These views reflect the importance of the relationship between educational philosophy and educational theory, where educational philosophy provides a foundation and direction for the development of educational theory. The last is to give direction to the development of theory. Philosophy serves to provide direction so that educational theory that has been developed has relevance to the real world. The theory that is developed after being directed by philosophy in accordance with current life. The third is the function and role of Islamic education philosophy. The first is the speculative function. In carrying out its speculative function, philosophy must try to draw conclusions or summarize various educational problems into one main picture through abstract and generalization process. The second is the normative function. The normative function of educational philosophy relates to the function of educational philosophy as a formulator or formulating goals, norms, or standards to direct education. The third is the function of criticism. The function of criticism relates to the function of philosophy of education to conduct careful research based on educational thought and practice. For example, testing the foundation of logical thinking. The last is the function of theory for practice. The function of theory for practice states that the concepts, ideas, analyses, and conclusions found in the function of philosophy of education function as theory. This theory is the basis for the practice of implementation of education. The fourth is position of Islamic education philosophy in language learning, including three. The first is to provide a greater understanding of language, providing a greater understanding of language as a means of communication and as part of Islamic culture. The second is to emphasize the importance of language use. Good and correct language use plays an important role in building positive relationships, promoting tolerance, and strengthening unity in religious and social contexts. The last one is encourages the development of learners, a creativity in learning language. In encouraging the development of learners' creativity and activeness in learning the language is very important so that they can master the language well and can apply it in everyday life. The last is what is the benefits of learning Islamic education philosophy? There are three of them. The first of which is to help educational designers. Philosophy of education can help educational designers and those who implement in it a country to form a healthy thinking about the education system. The second, it can be the best basis for educational assessment. Philosophy of education can be the best basis for educational assessment in a comprehensive sense. Educational assessment is considered a necessary issue for any good teaching. In the last sense, educational assessment includes all efforts and activities carried out by schools, educational institutions in general to educate new generations and citizens and everything related to it. The last is to provide a deepening of the mind. The philosophy of Islamic education will help and provide insight into the spiritual, cultural, social, economic, and political factors of the country. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if I made a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.